say this probably every time I film a book haul, that it's going to be my last big pile of books. And it's not because I acquire them all at once, so by themselves I probably buy the correct amount of books for how quickly I read them. I don't buy, like, I think it's like 11 or 12 books I'm going to show you today. I don't buy 11 or 12 books in one go. So it's not the rate at which I accumulate books that's the problem. It's because I've been through, the past couple of years I've went through quite large reading slumps for the majority of both the years. And I think a couple of years ago when I did my getting rid of all the books like that I had on my TBR for like years, and I got rid of them all, I technically still had a couple of books from that book haul. And then I added a whole pile of other books onto it. So it's just because I'm not reading quickly enough, but I've already noticed a difference this year in how much I've been reading. I have been getting a bit more work done as well, so that kind of pulls me away from it. I have lowered my reading goals for this year, but I still should be able to read a lot of books. And I'm really hoping that I get through the majority of books I have on my bookshelf, because it's just quite daunting. I mean, it's quite nice having a selection there, but it's also quite daunting and I don't really enjoy it. I really like to get down to the point where I only have like 4 or 5 maybe, and then I would just feel so much more excited and happier about buying books, and it would go back to the way it was a few years ago where I like adored going and shopping because I know that I would be reading them soon. Whether right now I feel like I can't read the new books because I've got so many on my shelf. So yeah, we're hoping to get rid of a lot of them this year and get them all read, and yeah, feel better about my TBR. Let's get straight into all the books I have to show you and hopefully give you some book inspiration. The first one is technically not my book. I bought it for my sister, but I had been really interested in it for a while and I genuinely thought it would be good for her. And that is a book by Jen Sincero. I'm gonna have to read this cover because it's long. You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. I'd heard a few people that weren't even in like the book world talking about it, and it sounded really good, and it sounded like a very like maybe unique point of view in a self-help book, like just to give you like a fresh outlook on it. Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page is sort of it's a story set in the Wizard of Oz worlds. It's where Dorothy isn't as nice as we initially know her to be, and another girl finds herself in the world of Oz and has to help out. It's Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, second book in Starbound trilogy. Not loving it as much as I did the first one, still really enjoying it. But yeah, I think I just like the journey or the storyline of the previous one. You know, just what the characters had to go through. I think I just enjoyed that plotline a bit more than this one. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna really enjoy it still, so we're gonna see. A Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas. A book I don't think that needs much introduction or an author. It's the last book in the series, the Throne of Glass series. Loved it. For being so big, I wish we had got to see the characters more, just interacting with each other. I still adored the book, but I just felt like for it being so long, I didn't actually felt like I got to spend a lot of time with the characters. And I would love like just a little novella like in A Court of Thorns and Roses where it was just seeing them all be together. I would kind of love that. I just wanted, like, for there being so many characters, I think it was obviously very hard to spend time with them all. But yeah, I would just love that. But yes, highly recommend it. Very good. Dragonsworn by Sherilyn Kenyon. It's like book 28 in the Dark Hunter series. Like a mythical, it's sort of like modern day, but like has a lot of mythology in it about these hunters that fight bad guys. I'm really terrible at describing it, but it's so good. There's not really point going into a lot of detail. I would definitely recommend checking out this series though. You don't have to commit to all of it because it's not the same throughout. The characters, each book follows a different main set of characters, but all the characters intertwine, but they can be enjoyed separately. But yeah, it's good. It's getting a bit, I'm not sure where it's going right now because there's a lot of characters who I'd love to see instead. These are all new characters that are being brought in right now. Haven't been in previous books, so I'm kind of wondering where it's going, but still enjoy it. So yeah, this will be a good read that I will enjoy. Sorry, it's just a lot. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This book I've literally wanted to read for probably like at least 7 or 8 years. Yeah, it was the first book I saw of hers and I only just got it at Christmas, so, and there's a second book that just came out as well, I just remembered that. So yeah, I will probably, it's definitely one of the ones I want to get to this year because yeah, I just hear really good things about it and the story just sounds really good, and it's about, I think, these two old friends and one of them's bad or one's hunting the other, and I think there's like some superpowers in amongst it. But yeah, I was so excited when I initially read the blurb, and I'm so bad for just not getting books at the time, but I've got it now, so hopefully I'll read it soon. Now we're on to all our hardbacks. Muse of Nightmares by Lani Taylor. This is the second book in Strange the Dreamer duology. I currently had started Strange the Dreamer, but only like 50 pages in or something. But yeah, I'm really liking it. It's just, I think that way where, especially with like quite high fantasy books, it takes a little while to get into it because there's a lot of world building. But yes, very much enjoying it. I bought this without having read the first one, so yeah, I feel like I know I'm gonna enjoy it. And it's a different world, so far from what I can gather. It's about this boy who works in this library, and there was this different world, and I think it's set in like a different time period. And this world, this different city has like disappeared. It's been gone for 200 years, and I think it's about them to rediscover the people of this city. And yeah, that's all I know, but I'm sure I'll love it. Her writing style alone is just something to be enjoyed, regardless of like whatever she was writing. Times Convert by Deborah Harkness. This is technically the fourth book in the All Souls trilogy world. It's following different characters from the first 3 books, but it's still set in that world, so I'm just gonna call it part of the series. Yeah, I think I've heard mixed reviews that people enjoyed it, maybe it was a bit boring. I feel like as long as you get to see, because these 2 characters are in it, I was very interested in seeing more of them. So as long as we got to kind of spend some time with them and got to develop their relationship and see them, then I'd be very happy with that. Apparently there's another one coming, which I think I'd be more interested in reading that character's story. So yeah, I'm very out of the loop with this series, but yeah, this one should be good. I'm not in a rush to get to it, but I'm hoping I'll enjoy it when I do. Now on to the last 2 books, which are the 2 newest acquired ones, and that is Aurora Rising by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. So this is obviously the pair that wrote the Illuminae Files trilogy. Obviously adored that series, it was so good. The blurb on this, I can't remember, but it sounds so good. I remember being in the bookshop with my little sister and she read it and she was like, oh, this sounds amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's just like the misfit of characters and they all sound really interesting. And I think it's like in space and it's all these, like a dysfunctional group of like crew members, and they come across this new girl. I think I don't know if she lives in space or where this girl comes from, but I think that's where the story picks up. I'm not sure if this is a trilogy or not, or a duology, but yeah, I'm really excited to read it. And last but not least, The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I read Bone Season a really long time ago, like when it first came out, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, and I was just a bit lukewarm about it, and I wasn't sure about continuing the series. And then one of my friends started to read it, and I had actually seen this book around, and people whose opinion I had trusted online had talked about it, so I was thinking of giving this one a go anyway. But then my friend really started to enjoy it, and she was very only near the start, so when I kept seeing it, I made the effort to get it. Just because nothing else, like the cover is just stunning, like the blue detail and the orange is just lovely. I don't really know, I only know there's like dragons in it. I don't know anything else, which was a bit of a commitment for like a really large book. I think it's like 600 to 800 pages, I think it's something like that. So for not really knowing anything about it, it was a bit of a risk, I guess. But I've only heard really good things about it, so fingers crossed, because I was not crossed, there we go. Because obviously when the first book of her other series came out, it was a really long time ago, so naturally you develop your writing skill. So I'm hoping it'll be a good one. I'm gonna go because I'm already insanely hot just standing here and it's nowhere near as warm as it was yesterday. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you maybe got inspired to have a further look at any of the books, and if you do pick them up, I hope you enjoy them, and I will see you soon.